Hello, everyone out there, and welcome to another edition of Black USA Crypto News. I'm your host, Kamal Hubbard, and I want to say happy Juneteenth to everybody out there. Hope you're enjoying the weekend and taking time to commemorate all of our ancestors who paid the ultimate price so that we could be here today and celebrate. I want to also thank the Emmy nominated Donnie Glover for having this platform, Black USA News, and all the other amazing content creators like Tashmir Gathers, who puts together the Blackout Live from New York right before my show, coming out of the East Coast. Also coming out of the East Coast from Baltimore, shared space with Quita and Chap. Coming out here to the West Coast on Thursday evenings. Be sure to catch the Black Business Roundtable with my brother, Art Douglas Blacksher. So let's just get to some of the great crypto news that's going on out here. Maybe not so great due to what's going on in the news. I think you guys get a pretty good sense that the regulatory situation here in the United States is starting to pick up, and no telling what those outcomes are going to be. Hey, Michael Randolph, how you doing, sir? Good to see you here. Happy Juneteenth. I think I reached out to connect with you, but hopefully just send me a message. I'm sure we'll catch up pretty soon here. Getting back to just getting straight to the news here. Be sure to check out the Cage Chain newsletter. If you have not already, try and hit you with all the best of the midweek news coming out. And I want to give a shout out to the Junior Wall Streeters. This is also a program out of Maryland that is working to promote financial literacy and investment strategies with young people. Pretty sure from middle school to the age 21, and they got a lot of really good things going on. Be sure to check them out, the Junior Wall Streeters, and that's a program through the blackwallstreeter.com. So the blackwallstreeter.com. Now, one story that I think is pretty interesting coming out of or coming to us from Decrypt, and that is right here. And it is, the U.S. has not yet determined whether it will pursue a CBDC. The U.S. Treasury is leading an interagency group that is researching a potential U.S. central bank digital currency. So, based on last week's regulatory onslaught, it seems U.S. authorities do not like digital currencies, but a central bank digital currency, CBDC, that has not been ruled out yet. At least that's what one U.S. Treasury Department representative said at today's Transform Payments USA 2023 conference. Graham Steele, an assistant secretary for financial institutions, spoke about the U.S. government's FedNow payment service, central bank digital currency, and the future of open banking at the industry event organized by Reuters. Steele, representing the Treasury Department, was clear in the fact that the United States has not yet determined whether it will pursue a CBDC. He did say, however, that the Treasury is leading an interagency working group to study a potential U.S. CBDC. Central bank digital currencies are digital versions of fiat currencies. As of December 2020, roughly 114 countries, which represent 90% of the global GDP, are researching how and whether it should launch a CBDC. According to Steele, the working group wants to strike the right balance between global financial leadership, national security, privacy, illicit finance, and financial inclusion. Okay, that's very interesting. So I don't know, guys. That could just be a head fake, in my opinion. My guess is that there could be some degree of a delay in rolling this whole thing out. It definitely seems as though they want to be very deliberate in how they do roll it out. And they probably do also want to see where the chips fall, especially in the wake of some of these regulatory decisions that's coming out. I haven't seen Donnie for a while either, but my understanding he's still doing shows. I'll be sure to get you my email, Mr. Randolph. And thanks for sharing my show. I appreciate that because I'm definitely just trying to get the news out here, get some people exposed to some of these stories. Got a few other really interesting stories coming up here. So let me go back actually to the Cage Chain newsletter because there is another interesting story I wanted to share. Um, so last week, unfortunately, I was not able to do a broadcast, but what did come out was the enforcement actions against two of the largest cryptocurrency exchanges in the world. The largest in the United States, Coinbase, and the largest in the world, Binance. And by the looks of things so far, Binance is looking to cooperate with this enforcement action. Um, Coinbase is looking to cooperate too, of course. I'm not saying that they're not, but they are raising some very interesting objections to all this. And the next story that I want to share with you guys actually discusses this a little bit more in depth. So the SEC refuses to respond to Coinbase's rulemaking petition following lawsuit. The U.S. Court of Appeals for the Third Circuit has asked the SEC to clarify its position on a rulemaking petition from Coinbase. So this actually came out on June 13th, a few days back. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission today said it had not decided on whether to clarify new crypto rules after America's biggest crypto exchange, Coinbase, made a special request for the top regulator to do so. In a Tuesday filing, the Wall Street regulator said it had not decided what action to take on Coinbase's rulemaking petition. It comes after the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Third Circuit's Judge Ann Krause, who noted the SEC's lawsuit filed last week, ordered the SEC to reveal whether it has decided to deny Coinbase's petition. That petition, filed last year, asked the SEC to clarify its rules on which assets should be regarded as securities and how to regulate digitally native securities. The SEC last week hit Coinbase with a lawsuit alleging it had operated for years as an unlicensed security exchange and elevated its interest in increasing its profits over investor interests. Coinbase's chief legal officer, Paul Grewal, said on Twitter that the SEC quote, repeat the fallacy that they haven't made any decision on new crypto rules, adding that, quote, they refuse to commit to any deadline despite the court's explicit order. The SEC's Coinbase lawsuit is part of a broader crackdown on the industry pushed by Chairman Gary Gensler, who has repeatedly said that all digital coins and tokens, except for Bitcoin, are securities. A day before suing Coinbase, the SEC had hit Binance, its American sister exchange, Binance US, and its boss, Changpeng Zhao, also known as CZ, with 13 civil charges. In its crypto crackdown this year, the SEC also targeted American digital assets exchange like Kraken and Gemini for allegedly selling unregistered securities. So, once again, I believe that Coinbase brought up a very interesting objective that a year before this lawsuit that the SEC had filed against them, they had written to the SEC requesting guidance on, what digital assets should be classified as securities? Can we get clarity on this so that we can properly understand which assets to list as digital assets as opposed to digital securities or tokenized securities? Also, they asked for guidance on, well, if we are offering digital securities on our platform, how can we properly do that according to the SEC's rules? And they never got a response. They've asked once again in the midst of being a target of this enforcement action, and the SEC still hasn't provided clarity. So, um, I think Coinbase is not alone in this, trying to understand the regulatory landscape, and they are making it known that, hey, this is not our first request at clarity. So, um, I think people long know my issues with Coinbase, but here I do think that they raise a very good point, a very good and interesting point. Excuse me. So, next, here is a newer story, a little bit more about the regulatory environment. Um, and it is coming to us from Crypto Slate, actually. And has to do with billionaire Mark Cuban, who has, made it very public that he's interested in crypto. And this story comes to us yesterday, once again from Crypto Slate. Mark Cuban debates crypto regulations with former SEC official. The billionaire entrepreneur and former enforcement official engaged in a spirited but respectful debate that publicly unpacked critical issues. A recent Twitter exchange between two prominent figures in the world of finance and technology, entrepreneur Mark Cuban and former SEC official John Reed Stark, has drawn attention as an example of positive civil discourse around complex and contentious issues. The billionaire and former enforcement official engaged in a spirited debate over the intricacies of securities laws as they pertain to cryptocurrency. The conversation transpired in the view of the public, with both parties passionately yet respectfully presenting their viewpoints. John Reed Stark, now a private consultant, was the founder and former head of the SEC's official Internet Enforce or head of the SEC's Office of Internet Enforcement. Excuse me, guys. Mark Cuban is a billionaire entrepreneur known for his investments in various tech companies and as a high-profile media personality. He's been an outspoken advocate for cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology. The debate centered around the notion of regulatory clarity in the realm of cryptocurrency, a hotly contested issue in the financial world. Among Stark's key arguments is against the notion of inadequate regulatory clarity in the cryptocurrency industry, arguing instead that securities regulation is intentionally broad and all encompassing with precision, often deliberately avoided to allow for regulation of a wide array of financial instruments. He also suggested that the crypto industry often cries foul and challenges the enactment of any specific regulatory crypto related rules when they are introduced, despite their calls for regulatory clarity. So, what Stark is saying here is that the crypto industry wants it both ways. They want to be unregulated, but when they ask for clarity, then they cry foul. So, to a certain extent, there may be a fair point there, but let me continue. Cuban, however, countered these points from a practical standpoint, taking issue with the contention that all crypto projects be lumped together under the umbrella of enterprises. Not all, quote, not all crypto businesses that have tokens are considering using tokens are large enterprises, he wrote, continuing. The vast majority of crypto applications are small, maybe 3 people. I had someone from one of those small companies call the SEC and ask for guidance on getting registered. The response from the SEC was, here are some cases to review. Get a lawyer to help you. That is the fundamental problem. Can't say I haven't heard that one, guys. Cuban likened this to cities enforcing licensing laws on a lemonade stand, arguing that it's fundamentally problematic to place enterprise level burdens on extremely small startup projects. Yes, I have to agree with that. And like I said, I've been there, done that, guys, and heard that before, unfortunately. So I kind of share well, I understand where both sides are coming from. I think Stark once again makes a good point that a lot of people in the crypto industry want it both ways, which I don't necessarily think is true. I think I tend to believe that there are some people in crypto who do like the unregulated nature of cryptocurrencies. And we'll get to another interesting story about this in a moment. But yeah, like for someone like me, I would like to have clear guidance in understanding which digital assets are securities, which are not, how they're going to be taxed, and, you know, just so I can understand how to play by the rules. Most people just say, hey, follow the tax laws, follow the securities laws, which is obviously a great rule to follow. But I think people who are using digital assets still need a little bit more than just that, right? And, if you do have a startup and you're really just trying to bootstrap and you're talking about having a couple $100,000, most likely you're going to hand most of that over to a lawyer who is going to do most of that work, and you don't have enough runway to actually scale a business based on a good idea when it's all said and done. So that's where I agree with Cuban. It should be very clear cut so that your legal and compliance costs don't chew up most of your capital. So let me move on to another story here. Actually, let me go to uh, the story I just mentioned about the unregulated nature of cryptocurrencies and how there's some people out there who are looking to gain or game the system. So this one also going back to Decrypt. And Elon Musk denies owning Dogecoin stash linked to insider trading. Musk's lawyer says the claim that the Tesla CEO is secretly a Doge whale is without basis. So, billionaire mogul Elon Musk has denied allegations of owning Dogecoin wallets amid his ongoing class action lawsuit for market manipulation and securities fraud relating to the meme coin. Tesla's founder and CEO, and for a short while, CEO of Twitter, is currently facing a $258 billion lawsuit for an alleged Dogecoin pyramid scheme. The court case claims Musk was part of a racketeering scheme to back the cryptocurrency. According to the court filing submitted on June 7th, 2023, Musk is accused of selling 1.4 billion Dogecoin, worth over $124 million. The records state two different wallets, supposedly belonging to the billionaire, offloaded the token. This alleged profit taking occurred during a 2-day period in April, between April 4th and 6th, when Twitter replaced its classic bluebird icon for the image of the Dogecoin logo, a Shiba Inu dog. Price aggregator CoinGecko, however, pointed to a drop in the token's price from 9.5 cents to 8.5 cents during those 2 days. Elon Musk's attorney, Alex Shapiro, has denied these allegations, according to a letter obtained by the New York Post. Quote, you specifically allege without basis that the following wallets belong to Musk. It reads, the sole basis of your claim is that these wallets sold Dogecoin at a time when, according to the Third amended complaint, prices were up. A group of Doge investors had already amended the lawsuit in late May. when they accused Musk with manipulative practices that pumped the token's price. That filing accuses him of transparent cryptocurrency market manipulation, saying that Musk was exploiting his impressive Twitter following and subsequent appearance on NBC's Saturday Night Live. Musk, the self proclaimed Doge father and Dogecoin CEO, has not shied away from his favoritism of the meme coin. He has repeatedly taken to social media to tweet the token, garnering recent encounters with the law. So that once again is very interesting. That uh, you know Elon Musk allegedly under this uh, class action lawsuit manipulated the Dogecoin market, uh, pumping and essentially dumping the coin. Now, these are the allegations based in the lawsuit. Why he allegedly thought he could manipulate the cryptocurrency markets, we'll find out. Obviously, his attorney says there's no basis to that, and we gotta have to let the process play out. He's definitely allowed due process under the law and under the Constitution. So we'll see where this goes, but a very strong allegation to a certain extent, relatively credible if someone is able to actually make the link to those wallets to Musk. So then once again, that will be very credible. And the other thing here is that shows you how most cryptocurrencies are not anonymous, right? If there's one piece of data that can link those wallets to Musk and it's definitively proven that it's him, then you know can't say it's anonymous then, right? So try and keep an eye on that case here. But let's get to another very interesting metaverse story here. And I believe this comes to us from Decrypt as well. And it has to do with Binance as well too. But I thought this was, this is where people want to see the metaverse and Web3 going. The Weeknd and Binance enter the metaverse. The digital experience arrives amid the Weeknd's Binance sponsored crypto powered world tour, which is currently in Europe. So, cryptocurrency exchange giant Binance and pop artist The Weeknd have launched a specially created online space called the Metaverse Dimension in an expansion of the pair's ongoing partnership. Users of the web based game can take part in a treasure hunt challenge designed to unlock exclusive areas, content, and rewards, and bring the Weeknd's creative world to life in a new way, per a press release. In practice, it's a simple 3D experience in which players can explore a glossy world adorned with imagery from The Weeknd and Binance. Those entering the Weeknd's metaverse will get an avatar and virtual outfit styled in campaign imagery and branding. Areas in the game include a club room, an art gallery, a Binance theme zone designed for Web3 and crypto education, and a secret door. Completing challenges will unlock access to a VIP area and a stage as well. So, all Metaverse fans, let me know how this goes. Binance says that users will solve puzzles integrated within the digital experience and can potentially win tickets to future Weeknd concerts, along with exclusive merchandise. The exchange will also have augmented reality experiences available during stops of the Weeknd's current world tour. The move adds an extra dimension to the partnership the pair had already announced in 2022. Binance is sponsoring the artist's After Hours Till Dawn World Tour, which began in July of 2022 in the United States and Canada and has now expanded to Europe this summer. Latin American dates have been announced for this fall. So This is where a lot of people for a long time in crypto and metaverse have wanted to see things go with entertainment, right? So not only are you talking about live in-person dates, but we're also talking about engagement in the metaverse as well. So, we're going to move from metaverse to AI. And this is a very interesting story, once again, coming out of Decrypt. And so, Meta's new AI speech tool is ready made for deepfakes. So, it's not being released. The apparently powerful new AI tool isn't being released yet due to what Meta acknowledges are potential risks of misuse. Meta continued its push into the increasingly crowded AI field on Friday, announcing the creation of a tool called VoiceBox. It's an app for generating spoken dialogue with a variety of potential use cases, but it's also ripe for misuse, as Meta admits, which is exactly why the social media giant isn't releasing VoiceBox to the public just yet. Unlike previous voice generator platforms, Meta says VoiceBox can perform speech generation tasks it was not specifically trained on. With text input and a brief audio clip for context, the AI tool can create a potentially believable chunk of new speech that sounds like whoever was featured in the source clip. Prior to VoiceBox, generative AI for speech required specific training for each task using carefully prepared training data. Meta AI said VoiceBox uses a new approach to learn just from raw audio and accompanying transcription. Generative AI is a type of program that is capable of generating text, images, and other media in response to user prompts. Meta AI said that VoiceBox can produce audio in 6 languages, including English, French, German, Spanish, Polish, and Portuguese, and can do so closer to how and can do so closer to how people speak naturally in the real world. So, I mean, I've been covering AI for several weeks now, and this story once again is underscores how AI people have said, "Oh, it's a threat to humanity, it's a threat to society," and this is one of the reasons why. Uh, Being able to fake someone's voice and maybe only needing, maybe 5 to 10 seconds of a voice sample from anybody, putting it into an AI model like VoiceBox, and then being able to say whatever you want, sounding like somebody else. That's very dangerous, right? But there are other things out there that are doing the same thing for 3D video, right? And not just, animated video, but actual lifelike, human-like imagery. So Google has been working on a 3D AI assisted teleconference software that will do just that. It's going. They're saying it's being used to enhance, teleconferences, but Google also has something very similar to VoiceBox as well, and you know that is also very interesting. And the other interesting part about it is, if you are a Google Voice user, it's no telling how much your voice has been recorded on some of those Google Voice calls. But you know what, guys? You can check into these things yourself, and I don't want to get off too far into uh, ways of scaring you about the future. But I think AI regulation is right on time with sensible crypto regulation at this point. So that's it, guys. Actually, it is Juneteenth, and you know, be on the lookout for the Repart token airdrop in the Black Blockchain Brunch. We're going to go through step by step how to get that token for Juneteenth. I'm going to be doing it today. We only have a couple days left to get them, so be sure if you're celebrating Juneteenth, why not get some free Repart tokens so that we can begin using those tokens in an e-commerce setting, which is Melanin e-commerce. So check that out coming up next in a few minutes here. So thanks for joining me. Enjoy the weekend. Stay safe.